Rob, welcome to the show. You rode 359-ish miles, 360 miles exactly 1 week ago, smashing the record for the UNBOUND XL. I rode a mere 220 miles before my day was done. And accustomed as we are now to these only 200-mile rides and races, I felt pretty chipper in the week since, honestly, even the day after. I saw Lawrence Tendam, who rode to an impressive 4th place. I saw him Saturday afternoon, and he was destroyed. So, chalk it up to like not sleeping through the night. But the point is, he did the whole event, and he was destroyed. You won the event. How are you feeling in the week's aftermath and the day or so aftermath of your record-setting ride?
Yeah, no, it's it's kind of funny you're saying like, they just did the short one.
Yeah.
The 200, and you're like, no, that's still like 4 hours longer than an average long gravel race.
Sure.
But so afterwards, immediately afterwards, you have like the super high of winning, right? Like obviously that was like insane. But I always joke about this, like I've done a few ultras and stuff. Sometimes you do well, sometimes you don't. You feel terrible regardless. So at least if you do well, you have that like high. Otherwise, you just feel really, really bad without like the emotional like sensation of like success. Like, oh, this feels good. It's like, but this one, this is definitely the fastest paced like ultra distance because technically it's like a mini ultra.
Yep.
Getting informed from the people that actually do these things much more than I do.
Sure.
But the next day it's, you kind of give yourself like mini jet lag. So once the caffeine wore off just after noon, like I finally got home because all the people who could support me at the finish were all supporting the people who were racing the 200 or they were racing the 200 themselves. So I was just by myself, and then I'd give my bike to Merchant Cycle. So I had to get home. So when I did get home, I had a shower, and it's like, I feel I was crashing pretty hard. And then finally I got to bed, and I was like, at first you almost pass out and you're like, yeah, that's the best. And then moments later, it's just like all the aching started to sink in. My joints just started to ache. My stomach was doing like hula hoops, and like getting in knots. And it's just like lying in the fetal position in bed, like just in agony for a few hours.
Brutal.
Then like that kind of lifted. And then you're just tired and sore. Like my joints get more sore because I'm like prehistoric sometimes, I feel. But that was for probably 6 hours after the finish. And then in the evening, I started to come around and actually kind of felt the same as how I did after like normal Unbound. Like normal Unbound beats you up too. Like you're hitting those bumps faster. You're like the intensities are much higher. So it's like not an easy feeling to do the 200 mile. Like that thrashes you. Stomach, same thing. It's like I couldn't believe my stomach was as decent as it was, but it was actually days later before my stomach finally felt normal. Like even like Tuesday, my stomach would be like, and just in a knot, like out of the blue for it's just for like a few seconds. But like, I'm like, oh God, I thought for sure, man, like, I don't know if you saw your bottles out there, but there's more than a few times I looked down and I'm like, well, this is future Rob's problem. Present Rob's got a drink. And it's like, have a bottle and like move on with it. But there's definitely like, so yeah, physically, I was like shattered for less time than usual. I think I got over it okay.
Yeah.
Mentally, I think the last couple of days, like I'm finally kind of getting used to just being normal again, like sleeping again. Like I haven't trained at all.
Yeah.
Like not that I don't consider half of what I do training is biking, but I haven't even really gone biking. It's like I went for like a couple mountain bike rides. So.
Yeah. Right on. So rewind maybe a few months ago, probably around the time that registration opened up. How did you make the decision to do the XL?
I was on the fence with it for a while. I was pretty over the 200 last year, to be honest.
And you, 2022 was your first, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
With the Grand Prix. So I've done the 200 3 times. Yeah, like it's only getting faster. Like, and there's all this like the squabbling online right now about it's not safe, yada yada. It's just like it is what it is.
Yep.
But like I just didn't want any more part of that. Like I was having like a mini self crisis before like the season had gone really poorly. It's like it's just how it is, right? Like I think it seems like a lot of people are kind of going through the same thing, right? Gravel's changing from like um its characters changing and evolving, and what drove me to it wasn't necessarily what's there now. So like what could I do? Like going to Kansas doesn't really excite me. Going to Kansas to the 200 definitely didn't excite me. But the 5, like the XL, I'm like, oh, that actually kind of got me excited again. And I'm like, oh, this could be cool. This could be fun. Like I need to have a fun race. And when I lined up at the start line, that was the first time I was like relaxed and ready for like a fun day of like just giving her in like a long time. Like, every race this year, I just seem to be so stressed out, and I've done this for my whole life. And I'm like, why am I getting stressed out? Like I shouldn't. Like every result I get now is just like a cherry on top of like a great career I've had, and like this whole second half of the career has just been like really good. I shouldn't be stressed out about this stuff. That's not why I should do it.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that feeling, and I got it at the start line effectively. But yeah, before it's like I was like, oh, should I tell my sponsors? I don't know if they're going to be happy. And then I kind of reached out to a few, and I think it was like Sean Cochran at Schwabe. I was like, hey, Sean, I'm thinking about doing the XL. What do you think? And he's just like, yeah, man, I think you could win it. That's a great idea. I was like, register.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
No, it was great, and yeah, but man, I didn't sign up till like 2 weeks before, or like whatever the cutoff was like days before that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a blast despite not having a good day by any normal measurement. My fear is in all the aftermath and talking with you and talking about my experience is having so many more people come to it, because like right now I feel like there's a very arm's distance approach to the 200 and people saying it's too dangerous, yada yada yada. Like the nerves you talk about on the start line of any other race are real. Even though we've spent a career racing and we're accustomed to racing, all of a sudden in this career 2.0 you're like, why am I nervous at a gravel race? Fast forward to 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon, like that was the best lead up to a race ever.
Yeah.
Casual so morning, sick. Chill, do whatever you want to do, and you're like, oh man, oh yeah, it's time to go race.
Yep. So I roll up. I'm like, all these people are here for us. I'm like, this is great. This never happens with the 200 because it's at 6 in the morning or 10 to 6 in the morning.
Right.
I'm like, this is tight. Like, just casual roll out. Like, I'm like, cool, chat to people. Not like you're like, which one of these guys are going to get me? Which one am I going to get?
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
are we going to crash in the next mile before the first section like we nearly did last year? Yeah. So crazy. And I don't mean to say that sounding selfish. It's like this fun XL was our experience this year, but we'll get into the evolution of what's going on in gravel. How about reflect on the race itself? Like, I believe Velo News, whatever we're calling it these days, published a headline that said Lachlan had won, and they had to go back and correct it. I could be mistaken in that, but I saw this. I don't know if it was made up post facto.
No, I think you're right. My dad, like, he's funny, he's old, so he's. Technology is a scary thing to him sometimes, but so it's like I'm getting text messages or like, whatever WhatsApp messages from him. I'm like, obviously I'm not checking my phone at the finish line. It's just like half drunk at this point. But like I look at him afterwards, it's like, you've won. Wait, no, I checked the internet. It says Lachlan won.
Yeah.
No, I looked some more. You've won. Please confirm. And I'm like, yeah, man. Like, but no, I think you're right. It's like, and I think that's why it's getting as much attention as it is. If Lachlan hadn't have been there, I don't think anybody would have cared about the XL. Really. Like, it's like we would have gone faster than anybody before without Lachie. Yeah. But like, it's like the Lachlan effect. He's huge, right? And it's fair, like, of course he's huge. It's like he's got the biggest following of like a lot of cyclists in general, but gravel cycling by like almost tenfold, right? Like, so, or at least like 20-fold over like any like sort of like social media following I have. Like he is gravel famous. So
yeah,
and he was for sure odds-on favorite to win that event, something like that. I mean, Christ, he rode around in Australia in like a week. Like, so riding around Kansas in like half a day seemed pretty like reasonable, and he was riding like that. It's just. Like, even Gravel Jesus can have a bad day. And I don't even think it was a bad day. It's just like, I think I had a slightly better day, and like, it was an awesome battle. But yeah, when I heard, I was like, some of these, I kind of heard that rumor as well. I didn't know it was true. It was like, but yeah, it's like people are like, oh, they have to go back and rewrite their story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, darn.
Right. Well, no, I think it was literally like a strike through. It was a headline that he won. It's like, oh wait, no, Rob Britton won. So, I was there for a third of the race. People could hear me wax on about what it's like to be in that front group for 108 miles before I peel off to get nutrition. How describe the whole race sort of as bullet point for the benefit of our listener. Like how did the race unfold? How did the move go? How did Lachlan go to mistakenly not actually go to victory? And how did you chase for victory over 200K?
Yeah, pretty longest chase of my life. Yeah, so if I were to put it in like you say bullet notes, I think the start we were all just sort of like feeling it out in those first like few miles. And then pretty quickly once we're on the dirt, it's like the pace picked up, and we went from 200 down to about 50, like boom, like first couple corners, a little bit of wind, a little bit of pace. And it's like, you could tell the people who are riding and the people racing it right away. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important to point out, like in the 350, like you're not racing 200 people, you're racing about 50. A lot of them are just like, they're in it for the, like that adventure experience, which is different, I think, than the 200 elite race. It's the same start as the 200 last year, and I could kind of remember it. I didn't pre-ride any of this stuff, but I remember there was like key points from the year before from like getting my ticket punched. So like, I should be in the front as often as I can. And so those like few pinch points where it gets technical, obviously a little bit of climbing, pinches down to like effectively single track and through those like water bogs. Just sketchy moments where it's like, it's going to cause pace change. Mm-hmm. I think myself and like the rest of like, I'd say what ended up being that Elite Six, we're all pretty aware of that and like put ourselves in a position to be, not in trouble there. I think everybody else is on the back foot, and we're already the most fit guys in that group. So it's like, we're in good position and we have just bigger engines from what we've done. Mm-hmm. So it's like that, I think that combination just was like a huge pace injection, and it just split the group down from like 50 to 20 to like, I think there's like 13 of us at one point, and then it was like 6 of us pretty quick. And that was in the first 100 kilometers, or like 60 miles. Mm-hmm. And I remember the next key point, I'm like, this is a good group. Fuck yeah, we're rolling. This is tight. Aero bars are sick. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, I really got to pee. And I think I looked at you and I'm like, you think these guys want to pee? Like, yeah, I got to pee. And then you just called it, and it was like, yeah. And we just all pulled over, and I'm like, this is great. I wrote a whole blog on that, and I've reflected. You roll up to me, you say, hey, what's the go with peeing? And immediately I'm just like, I gotta go too. Hey, everybody, who wants to stop? And the whole group stopped. Yeah, and that's great. Like, that is the front of the pack spirit of gravel. When you're totally loving beating each other up, but you're still in it with compassion for your fellow racer. My point is that would never happen in the 200. Period. No, ever. No, for sure. And it was just like, there was so much, and I've kind of said this quite a few times now. It's like, I think in that front group, especially when it was just down to like that 6 of us or whatever, like you, myself, Lockie, Lawrence, Ted, Ori and Robin. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think there was so much like mutual respect across the board. No one was going to do anything weird. Like, even when we stopped to pee, we started again, and it was like checking back, like, okay, we're all here. Okay, let's like start going again. Like, no weirdness at all. And then obviously the next point was like the first feed zone, mm-hmm. and they're like, gas station stuff or whatever. And you're just sort of like, oh shit, yeah, I guess this is like a thing, right? It's like, who's going to stop? Who's going to keep going? And Lauren's like, I'm going to go into the water stop. And I'm like, well, and I kind of like, I was going to stop at the same one that you were. Like, I'm like, I just like, in my mind, I'm like, so we're like, the other alternative is finding like a water spigot on the side of a shed in the dark in Kansas. I'm like, because that's basically how it was listed. I'm like, good luck finding that. Yep. So, but then I was like, oh, but I kind of want to stay with like Lockie and Lawrence longer. I'm like, and I had enough water. I had more than enough like fluid, especially as like when like I started to think about it far enough out, like to not like force the like hydration down. Because I started with about like 4 liters, like a gallon, and I still had a full bottle at that point, like 1 liter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I can make it to like 244K. I can't think of what that is in miles, but like, yeah, I could probably do that. And
how about, sorry, let me interrupt. How about from a caloric standpoint? Like I also had one bottle and I could have gone another, call it 30, 40 miles to that next spigot. But there were no calories to be consumed between 108 miles and 200 miles.
Yeah. So
how did you deal with nutrition?
So I packed it all. Then that's why I was like, I was good to roll. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess if I went in that store, the only thing I was getting was water anyways.
Oh, interesting.
Like that whole top, like, I don't know if you saw my like setup there, but like the whole top tube bag, like the one on top of the top tube, was all nutrition. It's just gels. Like, and I hate myself for doing it because I hate gels. Like, you know, gotten used to it in this like modern age of like proactive diabetes, but like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I have what I need. I'm like, sure, water will work. Like I'll be fine. And then it's like, man, you just get into dumb bike racer mode. You're like, okay, let's keep going. And then you keep going, and then you're like, you're ripping through this town through alleyways, and you know. So that was like the next major point was like, I think it was at that point, I think it was just you and Robin. I'm not sure if Corey was there, if he'd been split off through that kind of like, oh, what saved me was actually why I was able to do it more comfortably was those like trail angels. Yeah. Side where it's just like people having like, because like fully within the rules, like people having a barbecue on the side of their property offering the same stuff to you as everyone else until they ran out. And so it's like we smashed water there, and I think I had a Coke, and I'm like, yeah, no, that like extra half liter of water. And even still, when I got to the water spigot, I was dry. Yeah. But it was, you know, then you rehydrate there. But so that was the next point. The three of us were like rolling good. Like it's kind of the same pace as we were doing before, just less people. Then the last memory I have of Lachlan for about 9 hours was like, all right, man, we're gonna stop. He's like, yeah, cool. Like, just like, he gets to like puts his earbud in, and then his back in the earbuds, and his light just disappears in the darkness. And I was like, tight, this is sick. Like, that's exactly what I would have been doing. It's like, but then I missed to stop. It's like, Lauren's like, oh, it's in like 3K. So we turn right, and there's just this guy standing with like a flashlight. Didn't say anything. It's like, as you can't say anything in these things. Yeah. So like, I'm behind Lachlan. Lawrence pulls in, like, instead of music or anything, just no one said anything. And then I turned around and I was like, oh shit. And like, had to ride back. So anyway, I go fill up water. As we're filling up, it's like, you know, you're trying to panic and do it fast in the dark. And a train comes by, and I'm like, oh, no rush now. So it's just like, all right, take your time, fill it up. Like trains in Kansas are so long.
Like you're stuck on the wrong side of the tracks is the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, I filled up, and then we were going, went through Little Egypt. Lawrence comes up to me. He's like, hey, I think I have a flat. I'm like, oh, shit. What do you want me to do? It's like, I'd fix it. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep riding. And then kept going. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep giving her. Like, if he catches me, catch me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like, but this is like perfect. Like, this is like one-on-one. Like, I really like that idea. And like, you know, it's a great scenario to be in for me. Like, you know, you're chasing like freaking Lachlan. So it's like a carrot that is going to pull everything out of me. And then I'm being chased by Lawrence Tandem, which is like a rabid dog that doesn't let stuff go. Yeah. So between those two things, it's like kind of this ideal situation for like a mindset, like for going through the night, right? And I love riding at night. Like that's so much fun to me. Like riding through the night is great. I think I ran over a badger at one point. That was a highlight for me, kind of. I felt bad, but they're fine. Saw a possum, saw a turtle. Yeah.
Dude, I saw a lot of turtles and armadillos. Like those things could wreck you in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah. Big time. A lot of cows, free range cows near the end. And I was like, oh shit, I got to actually pay attention to these things. Like just black eyes in the darkness. I
had a deer run right in front of me, probably literally 5 feet away. Middle of the night. I'm like, man, that would have smoked me. That would have been trouble.
But yeah, so then the next two bullet points, making fast. It's like, got to the, went through the next gas station because I was like, again, I just need water and I'm good. I can go to 444. There's no point in going in here to get water. Yeah. Because I'd done that deeper rest stop in the first time. went to the kilometer 444, which was like the race provided neutral aid. So got there and they're like, hey, Lachlan's only a minute ahead of you. I'm like, oh, wow, sick. So
Wow.
filled up water, and then it was like, I swear, another 2 hours before I finally caught him. And it's like, I was like going behind him, like, okay, it's definitely obviously like struggling because like I just closed. Like, it would have been at least a 10-minute gap total through the night, I'm sure. So it's like, I closed it, so that's good, but it's still like he's Lachlan, he's super cagey. He's like, we're pretty much the same rider. He has more punch. So I'm like, how am I going to beat this guy? And then I'm like, what am I going to do? I wait behind him until he cracks. I'm like, no, I'll draft me sick right now. I'm like, I'm just going to catch him. So it's like, I was coming up and I was trying to think of like stuff to say, but you're like, kind of, your brain's shattered. So I just like rode by. I'm like, yo. I think we were both just like, sweet. So then it's like, we just took turns, and then, yeah, I think I didn't know how cracked he was. Like, I think his stomach was really bad. And at one point, I just turned around with about like not even 10 miles to go, I think, and he just wasn't there anymore.
Wow.
And that was that. Like, and it, yeah, it's like I said to him even in the race, I was like, man, I don't know how this will play out, like a normal battle or whatever, but like, this has just been a great day of biking. Like, this was like, a sunset was awesome, the sunrise was awesome. Like, it was just, it's like, you don't get those days very often where it's like, everybody asks, like, oh, like, what was the hardest point? Like, when you're really down, what did you do? It's like, I was never really down. Like, I just enjoyed it. Like, for me, that day was really, really good, and I really needed a day like that. So it was it was basically perfect. So.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's nice. Over a race that's such a long burn like that, there's no explosive attacks or anything. So it's almost like, yeah, you're never really just smoked or bent over a barrel. You know, these races are fascinating. How about, I feel like any of us who come from pro racing, you know, we don't line up without some hope of doing well, especially in a really small field like that. There's just sort of an expectation you're going to do well. You want to have fun. You want to win. What were your expectations going into the race? I mean, like, if you were going to come away with anything but a victory, was that not going to be successful?
Oh God, no.
Great.
So I set my standards way lower. I was like, I think top 5, and I was like pretty happy. And then when there was 6 there, I was like, this is looking good. I think top 5 is possible.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's because you always have like the people on your shoulders, right? It's like one person, like one of them is just like, something top 5. You're lucky to get top 5. You're lucky to be here. And the other one's like, it's like, well, don't just fucking be satisfied with top 5. I can try to win the thing. Put yourself in position to lose the race before you're like satisfied with 5th. So basically, there's like this, you know, like internal battle all the time. But yeah, before the race, honestly, top 5 was like my expectation of like the competition I saw there. Stuff can always happen in these races too, right? You can break anything, flat anything. All those things cost you time and energy. So, yeah, those. As far as results go, those were kind of the expectation, was top 5 for sure.
Yeah. Did you, in talking about like the hardware and the preparation for the race, did you have any, what I'd call like an ace in the hole? For example, I thought I had the greatest move ever in showing up with 44 slicks. So I've ridden 4 successful races on those tires. I podiumed on those tires. And I'm thinking, because we've had 5 days of rain, having a slick tire is one that I'm confident on this course, and then I can shed the mud really quickly, really easily. I thought I had a great move without a hydration pack because I can't stand wearing a hydration pack, so having the bladder on the bike felt like a really good move. What were some of your aces in the hole? I mean, tricks that you felt like might be giving you an advantage?
Oh, I wore a skin suit that I'd never worn before, and I thought that was pretty cagey.
You're like 1.5 watts saved just like that.
Dude, it was so funny. I was like, this thing looks pretty nice. It's like, oh, it's got the fancy arm things on there. You know, it's got the pocket in the back for the hydration pack. So same as you, I hate hydration packs.
Yeah.
They always give me like crazy chafing because it's like you just create so much more heat and sweat, and it just goes like straight into your ass. So like it's like I hate them. But like in these long races, it's a necessary evil. So like this like bladder in the jersey actually made a huge difference because it's nowhere near as hot, right? You don't basically have a heat wrap on your kidneys.
Yeah.
So The skin suit was actually pretty sweet. Like, I never thought I'd wear a skin suit for an ultra, but the Sanremo suit, like from Castelli, is just it is kind of a jersey and shorts, just paired together in an aerodynamic way, and it's quite nice. But other than that, man, I didn't have anything crazy. Like the taper cast fork is, I think, always an advantage for me. Like Factor's current bike can't do bigger than like 45 in the rear, especially when you run like a front rail like I do. It's you could maybe run a 50 with a like no front derailleur, like a one by, but even then, if there's any mud, for sure you're getting jammed up. So 45 is what I ran.
Wait, to say that again, you had a suspension fork, correct?
Yeah. Taper cast. And with the suspension fork, I could have run like a way bigger tire, but you don't really need to with the fork, because the fork's going to do the job of the big tire anyway. So
do you tend to, gravel races can be any spectrum. Do you run it all the time? Do you pick and choose which courses you're going to run it?
I'd say I'm leaning more and more to running it all the time. I just really enjoy it. Factor's got a new bike coming out that is suspension corrected and like actually designed for it. But until then, like it's also kind of a pain to change because you have to cut the brake hose every time. So I hate changing. Like eventually you have to like change that hose out, which is
never getting longer.
Internal bars. It's like it's not an easy job. But so other than the skin suit, which is kind of funny because it was the first time I ever wore it for a 350-mile race. But other than that, nothing crazy. Like in hindsight, I wish I would have done a better job packing my frame bags. Like I don't know if you saw, but like the front end of my like main frame bag was like all bulbous because I never run 1 liter bottles.
Yeah.
So it's like jammed up in there, and so my knees are rubbing it. My knees start to get sore. Like, I probably should have done more like, or at least some bike ride stuff. I was like, put it on. I'm like, this is how I usually run it. And I'm like, you're an idiot. This is a race. Like, be professional. It's
like the number one rule of bike packing is practice your kit. Try riding your full kit. And I've never once been able to do that because you're just packing right up till 5 minutes before the start.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is dumb, but whatever, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so, I did notice that. I saw that you had a very bulbous frame bag.
Yeah, my knees are mostly healed now, but yeah, it's just like for 17 hours. But yeah.
Right on. In our email exchange leading up to this conversation, one of the standout points to me was just how thrilled you were to have done the XL. You're like, and not because of the win. It was like because you just loved the vibe of the group. You were happy with the choice to do that. We talked about that a little bit. You finished before 9 a.m., so the 200 riders aren't even at the first aid station. Did you pay attention much to the race a little bit? We've talked about the aftermath where people are like, oh, it's too dangerous, yada, 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 how international it was. Like, were you paying attention to the 200 at all?
No. Like, I knew, like, I was in my own world, like, after the finish. I was just, like, stoked to kind of see everyone as they came in, because I've raced them and, like, I've been friends with them and colleagues for a very long time. So I waited, I think, until Lawrence came in, and then everybody kind of left. And then eventually I left, went to sleep, woke up, and then I found out Cam was off the front, and I was like, I like Cam. I'm like, hell yeah. And then it's like, heard that he won, but I didn't watch any of it. I think you could just tell, like, if it was fast for us, it was gonna be like fast as shit for them. And sure enough, like they were smoking fast, like road fast, which just made me so happy that I wasn't part of that just agony. And everybody, I tell you, it was great. You finish, you get all these nice messages from people, which was like really humbling. Like whenever you get like, congratulatory messages from like your colleagues, that's nice. And every single one of them that I talked to afterwards was like, oh, hey, how was your race? And like, oh man, it was good, but it was just like blistering pace all day, crazy fast all day. Oh man, it was just like, a race car with a smoky emoji. Like it's like it. And so I didn't pay attention to the 200. But yeah, you can kind of tell what it was going to be fast.
Yeah, 100%. I think everybody went in with the expectation of peanut butter mud, given all that rain. And then there we were, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in. And I'm like, oh, this is greasy mud. This is fast. This is smoking fast. So Wrapping up on all things Unbound right this minute, with of course things subject to change over time. What do you suppose you're going to be doing 1 year from now? Would you do the 100, the 200, the XL, skip it entirely?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Like generally speaking, like I don't know, like my mindset with this stuff is kind of like, hey, win something, just leave it alone. Like when I left road, it's like it wasn't to just do this like same circuit of the same stuff over and over again. It's like there's no way I can improve upon this. Like I had like that day was like it was almost perfect. Like it really was. So how am I going to beat that? It's only going to lead to disappointment. And just about even winning again would just be like, cool. The story couldn't possibly be nicer. So, what do you do? In a year from now, I'm not certain. I don't think you have a choice but to go back to Unbound. It's just such a big race. The expo itself beforehand, I think, is really important. Like I have so many brand partners there, just to see them in person. That's one of the few times I can see them. It's growing on me. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever did Tour de Beauce in Canada, but I hated that race when I first went, like rural Quebec, like, oh, this place.
Yeah.
And by the end, I'm like, it's kind of like, I had this like secret like love affair with, and I'm like, get to go back to Beauce, like good food, hotels, like hard biking, I get to see my buddies. And Kansas is like turning into that. When I was there, even just before the race, I think less pressure of the 200. It was nice being there. I enjoyed, like, it had its own certain beauty to it, seeing friends, like being more relaxed, more comfortable there. So will I go back? For sure, I'll be back. What I do, I don't know just yet. I like the idea of just like maybe doing some cool activation. And I mean, I'd say do the 350 for fun, but I know I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like that's just not how you're wired, right? And winning is fun. So competing is fun when you're doing well. Not winning and getting smoked is less fun. 200, not that. So it's like, and the 100, I'm like, that seems way sketchier. That's just like a bunch of young kids like on speed. They're just way too like crazy. So I'm like, yeah, don't know what I'll do, but I think I'll go back for sure.
Here's your activation. You do the XL and you mandate to yourself that you're going to camp. You have to sleep. It's like just you ride as hard as you want, but then you're like, you know what? I brought a bivvy. I brought a tent. I'm going to sleep. I mean, the first year they did it, people they slept because that's a reasonable thing to do over 350 miles.
Absolutely. Sleeping at night makes sense.
Yeah. Believe it or not. All right, let's go back to what I call an original email. April 19th, 2021. You wrote me an email. Hey, Ted, we're all over here in Girona living the Euro dream racing this year. I suppose not much has changed since you were in the scene. The World Tour is still insanely hard, and Valverde is still in the top 5 of every race. I have to laugh at that because fast forward to the present, now he's winning gravel races. The last 12 months has really got me thinking about what I want to do in the sport and where I can see myself in a few years. I wanted to pick your brain a bit to see, as you're kind of the pioneer in the scene and as you came from World Tour racing and managed to make a successful life after pro racing. Honestly, I'm impressed because it looks like the other side does not look easy, what you do. So my question is, what is the formula? So, yeah, I remember getting that email. I loved it. There certainly was no formula then. There remains no formula. My question to you is, how have your expectations of what that first year was going to be like, 2022, how have those expectations met, exceeded, failed the reality?
Yeah, I mean, I remember sending that. I sent it to a few people that I thought like were like really true pioneers of this space. It was like yourself, Jeff Kabush, and another a local triathlete here who'd done really well, Brent McMahon, because you guys all would have had experience like hustling for your own dollars. It's different than being part of a team. Effectively, you're creating a team of one, like a true independent contractor. And you'd given some good advice, and I just kind of took that and started to work with it. I think part of it really came down to you get to know your worth and your value from your career at the end of it. If you were just like someone that kept yourself, did your own thing, could never talk to anybody, maybe you were like, you had a bit of a persona, but it wasn't real. So you have to create your own like BUR, I never talked to sponsors, all this stuff. Like, I don't think people maybe realize how important it is to engage with sponsors. Like when you have those little small activations, every year team launch, like, like we were on Bissell, I think a year apart. This goes back a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But you have Mark Bissell there. Like Mark Bissell's worth like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know. Like he's rich. He is Bissell vacuums, and like then there's a whole list of like an entourage that comes with them. A CFO, CEO, all these things. Well, companies just just talk to them like regular people. You don't have to blow smoke up their ass. But it's just like if you just have like these nice conversations with people, you create relationships. So it's like I had a career of that. So you start going through kind of your Rolodex and like start reaching out. And like for me, the formula was just like trying to be as genuine as I possibly could. And like not like, and I don't think I had like a super selfish road career. It's like you do what you have to do, like race super hard, and like you have to be a selfish person, but you can still be a genuinely good person. It's just bike racing requires everything. I didn't want to do that again. I wanted to just be like the genuine, like an enjoyable life. So I wanted to have fun. I wanted to pick races that excited me. They were new to me. I didn't want to just get into this like hyper-focused racing again. And I had to make money. At the time, my wife was, at that time, my wife was in residency, so she wasn't making any money. We had just moved back to Victoria. We bought a house or a condo, so we I had a legitimate mortgage I had to pay, and I was making pretty good money on rally. And I remember kind of like making that decision. I'm like, I want to do something else. I don't love this anymore. So when I left, it's like the first person I reached out to was Felt, and they were really good. Then I worked James, who I worked with there, was great. He was on board right away. And then Eastern Overland was the next one. And then I got into the Grand Prix. So it's like this combination of stuff. But I think, it's like, so my original partners were Felt. They paid me, I want to say, maybe 18 grand, maybe less, 15 grand. Eastern Overland didn't pay me, but they provided me with group sets and like suspension wheels, all that stuff. So the full build for the frame. First Endurance gave me, I think, a couple grand. And I don't know if I think I sold bikes from the year before to make close that gap. But that's the formula was just like having conversations and being like present and engaged with the people who are supporting you. And like that first year, it's like I definitely came out in the red, like for sure. Like how could you not ride? It's like, people didn't know who I was, what I was like gonna be able to do on gravel. Like this guy's a road racer. His best race was Utah, and that was 4 or 5 years ago. Like fair enough. But then it just worked out. And like that first year, it's like I just was loving it. Like the Grand Prix went really well. I had some other decent races, kind of got into this like adventure ultra scene. My sponsors, that I activated on big time, like Castelli, Schwalbe. Factor was one of the initial ones, and they actually, sorry, I should mention that Factor, because Felt didn't make a mountain bike. Rob Jatella's actually he's like, just give him the same deal as Alexi. And I was like, get the same money as Alexi from you? That's pretty sweet. So it's like, I got cash from Factor as well and mountain bikes. And then through that year, it's like, obviously that's the Factor relationship, really solidified. And then in 2023, it's like, I was making really decent money. Like Factor stepped up huge. My other sponsors came in with cash, but the formula for me, I guess what I'm getting at is all of those relationships are not I wouldn't call them business relationships. I know they are. I know it is business. Like a relationship you have will end in business, but all of the ones I have right now are personal relationships. I can call up any single person that pays me money. I can call them up and just have a conversation about whatever. I have their personal phone numbers. These are like obviously it's a business relationship, but let's say we're friends. I think for me, that's the formula. I can't do fake very well. And that's been the good and bad. And if I don't like someone, it's really hard to just for me to pretend, which is not great sometimes, but it is what it is. And so yeah, for me, the formula has just been to be as genuine as possible. And it's not always about like trying to get the most amount of money. I'm sure if I really hustled hard, I could, push to another brand for this and that. And it's like, they'd pay me more, but that relationship and the comfort I have with those people is worth way more than just like some bucks. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for me, that's the formula.
Whatever works. How about, you did the Grand Prix in 2022. Did you continue in 23, 24? Like, I guess the bigger question being, how do you go about picking your schedule? We're at the point that if you're doing the Grand Prix, that's kind of the only thing you can do.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see that was happening even after the first year. So I did the first year, I think finished top 10. The second year I was in it again. Seattle didn't go good. Unbound was fine. I was like, whatever, like 10th in the Grand Prix or something. Then I didn't go to Crusher because I did BC bike race that year, I think it was. And what the heck happened after that? Or maybe Crusher was canceled because of the fire. Maybe that's what it was. And then we had Leadville. And I went there like the day before, just like because I didn't have time to do altitude. So I was like, we'll see if this works.
Yeah.
It didn't. So that was painful. Then I went and did Badlands, and like that was awesome. I won it, but it destroyed my body.
Yeah.
Like I didn't ride for like 10 days afterwards, which was by design. I wanted to go on vacation with my wife. We were in Portugal. But then when I got back to Victoria, I rode and my knees basically like just blew up. Wow. So for a month, I couldn't ride, all this physio, all this stuff. And it was just like nothing was making improvement. I just needed to chill. And so that like basically destroyed the rest of my season. So I had to send a message. I'm like, hey guys, like I can't ride. Like I might be able to ride by the time Big Sugar comes, but like I'm not going to come. Like it's like I'm not at the Grand Prix. Like, Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, but like and I'm not going to apply next year. Like it's like, for like you have a finite amount of time and like the stuff, and like I want to do as many new events as I possibly can. Like, and that was always from the get go what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to just do more bike racing. If I wanted to do that, it's like I'd push the Grand Prix. I'd do the same 6 races. 2 Belgian Waffle Rides, SPT, Unbound, Leadville, and Big Sugar. It's like there you go. That's your North American season done. Yeah. But I don't want to do that. I like traveling. I like dabbling in the ultra scene, even just going bike packing, adventuring over here, like mountain biking, all these things. I'd much rather do that.
I love it. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, will say something to that effect, like, I'd also like to do a couple new races a year. Whereas it sounds like in your mind, it's a very, very conscientious decision. Like I'm proactively trying to pursue a lot of other events and do as many new ones as possible. That is unique.
Big time. Yeah. It's like, I love just like, it's like a random like ultra will follow me on Instagram, and then I'll go in there and it's like, have you looked at this one? I'm like, well, you know what? I haven't actually. Like that's like Trans-Balkans or something.
Sure. Oh man, that
like a pretty cool place.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like all these like cool European places because it's like, or like stuff in Asia. There's this like insane one in Japan I'd like to do one day, but it's using my bike as a vehicle and a means of getting to travel the world and explore is just very, very, very exciting to me. And who knows when you don't get to do that anymore, when people stop caring what you do, and then now you're paying for it yourself. Yeah. So it's quite nice right now.
Totally agree. What does the rest of 2025 look like for you? What events are you gung-ho for?
I just want to unbound. I can just chill out.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Nothing until 2026.
No, to be honest, the back end of my season's pretty barren. I have probably a handful of events I might do post August, but so I have Gravel Nationals next weekend, Oregon Trail the week after that. That finishes on Sunday. Monday starts BC bike race, 7-day mountain bike stage race. So that'll be the longest successive block of racing I've ever had in my life. Then after that, I don't have anything planned yet. Like there's a lot of like, I might do this, I might do that. I want to do a cool ride here, do something there, but I don't have anything set. So, after BC bike race, it's pretty open. I I guess, a couple of things that I'd like to do. But the back end of the year, other than Rancho, like Gravel Earth Finals, I don't have anything registered yet. Yeah, it was just that kind of year. Like I just wasn't feeling this or that, so I wanted to like find the ones like that are exciting. And when you throw in those like ultra distance ones, they take some time to recover. So you can't like have bike race here and ultra race here and think that you can do both and like have the season like actually not just implode on you.
Are you taking part in the Gravel Earth series?
Yeah. It's like it's an easy one for me to be a part of. One, they have a million races. I wouldn't say I'm in it for like I'm in it for the series, but it's, I guess technically I kind of am. I'm going to the Gravel Earth final, but it's like Rancho is a cool race. It's nice to be in Spain. It gives me, that's a cool way to go to a race, but then also have like a way to like pop off and do something else like close to there. So you're already over there. It gives you like opportunity. But it's like, well, I was going to do Oregon Trail again just because it's an awesome race. After being second at Tracka last year, I felt only required to go back. And Tracka is the Unbound of Europe. It's for sure. Like you've been there, you can, I think, attest to that. It's mega. The course is like fun as shit. Like it's a cool course. So Tracka, easy decision. Oregon Trail, like easy decision. Rancho, I'm like, well, it gives me an opportunity at the end of the year. It's a fun course, like good way to like shut the season down. So all I need to do is one more race. So it's like, that's, I think Last Grizzly is kind of like the one I'll do there, or it's another one I can't remember, but so you only need to do 4. Finding 4 races wasn't that hard to do.
That's the criteria to be, quote, in the series? You got to do 4 races and be part of Rancho. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, given that they are literally all over the world, it's like it precludes a lot of people from doing it. Therefore, it's not like you're competing against 250 people, presumably. That's fascinating. Jumping out of time, now we're going back to the very beginning. You have had plenty of success on the road over what I think is an 11-year pro cycling career. You have Canadian National TT Championship to your name. You won Tour of Utah. You won Tour of Gila, Stages of Beauce. You've had pretty solid success at Tour of California. Talk to me about your entry into the sport. Maybe how you got picked up by Bissell. Like how are you standing out at that point? Because that effectively launched your road career.
Yeah. So like when I was a kid, I just grew up in Saskatchewan, like basically like the Nebraska of Canada. Like there's, you can watch your dog run away for 3 days straight. It's dead flat, windy as, like freezing cold winters, like blistering hot summers, mosquitoes in the middle. So I grew up there. I wasn't talented. I came out to Victoria, where the National Training Center was. They tested me, basically told me to go back to Saskatchewan because I was that bad. And I was like, at the time, I'm the best racer in Saskatchewan right now. Like, shit. Okay. But I came out here to work on cruise ships, not necessarily for racing. That was my means of coming out here, was to do specialized marine construction, of which I had zero experience even swinging a hammer at the time. So was out here and, just basically all these people telling me that I couldn't do it was like pretty good motivation to be like, F you. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show you. And I just kept working really, 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 really hard. And cycling was just like my passion and obsession. And I started to get good. And I became, at the time, probably like Symmetrics was here, but there was a couple of guys on Symmetrics that were better than me, but not the whole team. But they had like guys like Swain and Christian and Cam Evans at the time. Like it's like these guys are really, really good, but like individually, they weren't really much better than me. Like as a team, for sure, obviously, but as an individual, it's like I was actually, when I'm looking back, I was quite a bit better than I thought I was. But at a local level, like Pacific Northwest, I won basically I think Will Rowley at the time was the only guy who was beating me once Symmetrics like folded. It's like Will could get me in the finish because he just has such a good kick. But it's like all these like Wall, Enumclaw, Wenatchee, Columbia Plateau, like the stuff in BC. It's like these races, unless you're here, it's like, I mean, you think it's just the same as any local scene, right? But I was winning or being like second in all of them. TT, like solid, even crits, I was half decent at, like locally. And obviously anything that had a climbing and multi-day like stage racing, I was quite like very good at that level at the time. So I got a connection to Wahlberg kind of through Symmetrics. And I think it was like Zerbal got, I can't remember if Zerbal had like he signed for Garmin, but then in that time got like popped for like his like weird doping thing. And then Kirk B also got popped for, pretty sure, assaulting his wife. And then also when they searched his place, they found blood bags in the fridge or something like this. So
I missed that detail. Wow.
So Bissell had some cash.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were able to give me at least like 1/16 of how much cash they had. So my first year on Bissell, I got $6,000, and I was like, I'm fucking pro.
Yeah. They're paying you to ride a bike.
I did it. Oh man. It's like, you think back now, I'm like, how did I afford to live? It's $6,000, but it's like, at the time I was so pumped, like living with my buddies, like get all this kit the first year. It's Bissell. It's like it was like one of the two biggest teams in the US by far. It's like them and UHC. Like you're riding a Pinarello Dogma. Like this is insanely nice. Like I had nicer kit with the least amount. Like my career for quality of kit and product versus like what I was making was like inverse variation. Like I made $6,000 on Bissell and was riding it like a Dogma. We had Giordana, like I think like Oakley's. It's like, you know, it's like campy super record, and then like, you know, record on your home bike.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then fast forward, it's like to like when I was on rally, and it's like I'm riding like the best performances of my career. It's like I'm riding a rim brake Diamondback with Kenda tires and like SRAM Force home bike. Like it's like this bike is a piece of garbage. Like the number of times we had to use like smaller tires in the back because the frame wasn't built properly, so they'd rub on like the brake carrier.
Yeah.
So you couldn't run a 25, you had to run a 23.
Holy moly.
That's like, you think of 23, it's like, man, these things are like this big. Yeah. Like, but like, you know, but it's like, it just goes to show, like, man, it's like, I mean, it was light. So, but yes, it was kind of crazy when I think back to like the whole thing.
Wild. Well, yeah, you've gone from from the Pinarello to 23s, and now you're winning bike races on suspension forked gravel bikes. It's funny where the sport takes us. You're going up to Whistler in the not too distant future? Is that a fun adventure? Is that a bike adventure?
No, I'm going mountain biking with I have like core group of friends that like we've done so many like things together, and they're all having more kids, or they're having a kid, and it seems whenever you have one or more, as you know, life gets more difficult. So like being able to go and do cool stuff gets harder and harder, and I always like pushing them to try to like come over here, but sometimes you just got to cave and go to them. So and Worcester's not a bad place to ride a bike, but it's just going up there, hanging out, drinking some beers, riding some mountain bikes, just chill for the weekend, then kind of back to business on Monday and try to put pieces together for this next block.
Brilliant. Well, you have many experiences on the bike. This has been a very enjoyable conversation. We've sort of crossed paths in passing in the past, but there we were at the start line of Sea Otter 2025, courtesy of having the foresight to line up 45 minutes before everybody else. I say tongue in cheek, but it's neat to have followed along. I mean, having been on Bissell, 2 years, a year prior, I've always paid attention to your career. So the point being, this is a verbose way of saying we're going to wrap up with 3 questions.
Yep.
What is your favorite place to ride a bike? What is the number one place that you would like to ride a bike that you've never ridden? And with whom would you like to share a bike ride, a conversation, coffee stop? Whose brain do you want to pick? Anyone in them?
Okay. Favorite place to ride a bike?
Saskatchewan?
On the road. How'd you know? Um, uh, I'm gonna cheat on this because I ride 3 different bikes. So on the road,
Yep.
Probably Japan. I would say Maui. Maui is small. Japan is just the coolest place I've ever ridden a bike. It's just incredible, and it's just the roads are so cool and people are friendly. It's a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Gravel, probably Catalonia in Spain. The track is basically the smallest drop in the bucket you can imagine. There's so much more there. Costa Brava is incredible. Yeah, so gravel there, mountain bike, Chilcotin Mountain Range in BC. It's such a special place to ride a mountain bike. It's just fun, and you're always a little bit scared of grizzly bears, so it keeps you on your toes. So those are my 3 places. I couldn't pick one.
Great answer.
Sorry, the second one.
Where do you want to go that you've never ridden?
Oh man. That's like a never-ending story. If I couldn't ride anywhere else, I don't know. Norway. I think Norway is kind of up there. I think it'd be really cool to ride from the very northern tip of Norway to the very southern tip. I think that would be a really cool ride, doing mixed on and off road. Yeah. Of the places I've ridden, that's a climate and a place that I think I'd really, really enjoy if it was nice.
Well, here's a bucket list for you. Having just won the XL, the previous winner of the XL, Sebastian Brower, he did something to that effect, but it was like north to south Europe. He went from the northern Norway.
The European Connect Trail.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. That's a lot. My wife would be stoked if I was gone for a month.
And with whom do you want to pick your brain, pick their brain, go for a bike ride, enjoy a conversation?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. You never want to meet your heroes. I've learned that. So leave those ones alone. It would be, some people are going to hate this, but it's sort of like I grew up in the era. It would be neat to go on just like fully honest, open, like actually honest and open, like bike ride with like Armstrong. I think it'd be neat. Like, doesn't need to be pictures. No one ever needs to know about it, but it would be like, I mean, I grew up in that era, right? Like, and doping is doping and it is what it is, but it's like, the guy's had a crazy freaking life. He's a crazy person, but like, of all the people I can think of on a bike, I feel like that would be an interesting one. Like just right now, like there's like, and I don't know why that is. It's for sure a controversial name to say, like to pick any other Grand Tour person, but it's interesting. He's been around for a really, really long time. It's like, I feel like it would just be like a really interesting conversation to have.
Sure.
On, like if you did like a 6-hour gravel ride or something, or you just like shot the shit, grabbed a beer, whatever. It's like, and it's just like, you just open up about this and that. It's like, oh, what was that really like? Who was this guy like? Like that's what got me into bike racing. Like It is what it is. And what came out afterwards, like, that's that. But like, man, like I was a kid watching this guy just like shatter it. You buy the Nike gloves to try to be like Lance, and like for like, and what all the stuff that happened afterwards, that is what it is. But it's like, that is the guy who like started me on like wanting to be like a road racer, and like you're watching on TV and the tour, like, so yeah. And he's still part of cycling today in its own weird way. Mm-hmm. Like I don't idolize him. Like I'm not like a pro Lance guy, but yeah, that's, if I could have one guy or one person in cycling, that's probably it. Like, yeah, I'm not educated enough to pick a smart business person. Politics are weird to me. So, yeah, that would probably be it.
Terrific. I dig it. I appreciate it. I will let you have a fun, safe drive up to To Whistler, thank you very much for the insight. I enjoyed our 108 miles together, and congratulations again on the XL.
Cool. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for the chat.
Take care.